The way you trigger a conversation, we have actually a multiple option to trigger the conversations, but one of them is by using the get JSON. And
what does that mean? Get JSON.
A JSON is actually a code that the system generates, and maybe we should start about why we use it first. So what we want to do is to trigger the conversation when someone actually clicks on your ad. So you want to create an ad, and then when someone clicks on it, on the ad, you want the conversation to be triggered, right?
But isn't this an option that Facebook gives? I mean, when you advertise, you click, you have buttons, and okay.
You can set in Facebook, if you want to, when you create an ad, a messages ad, you can Facebook gives you the option to actually create a very simple conversation, but it cannot be a complex conversation. It can only be like text and then buttons, and that's it. You don't have multiple options and text after buttons and generic templates. You can only show them text and then a few buttons, and that's it. The conversation will end at that specific moment. But if you use the get JSON here, and I will show it in a second how to do it, what happens is that Facebook actually triggers the conversation from the JSON. So the JSON includes everything from the conversation, everything from the beginning of the conversation until the first interaction with the user. So when you take this code, it actually tells Facebook what to run when the user clicks on the ad, and when.
So you mean like when I'm putting an image or photo as my ad, other than the text. So when I can go call to action by saying press here on the ad itself if I have some text on it, and then it will trigger the bot.
Yes, it will trigger the specific conversation that you are targeting according to the JSON that you take. So each conversation has a different JSON. So when you create an ad, you take a specific JSON. But if let's take this conversation for example, we have a text and then a few buttons, and then under each button there's I don't know, generic template with buttons and the flow of the conversation. So when I click the get JSON, basically the code that the system will bring you is for the hey, text, and the buttons, and that's it. That's the code. So Facebook runs this code when someone clicks on the ad, and then when he clicks the button, then it's not Facebook anymore. Because when he clicks the button, it goes like the user doesn't see it, but it goes through Quantify Ninja servers, and then the whole conversation from that point is handled by Quantify Ninja, and basically at this particular moment he becomes a subscriber. So yeah. So let me show you how we do it. So first you need to click on the get JSON, and as I said, it's a different JSON from each conversation. So once you click it,
so on each conversation I have to get the particular the specific JSON from this conversation, right?
Yes. If you want to have different ads that links to a different conversation, then yes, you would need to get JSON for every conversation. So I just did a copy, and then I go to Facebook and to the ad manager. And in the ad manager, I will start one from scratch. So I'll go to campaigns. And then when you create a new campaign, you have an objective, so you can select messages objectives. That means that you want to trigger a conversation using the bot, and then you click continue. Now here you need to select the audience. So you can, if you use Quantify Ninja, you can also create a custom audience from your Amazon buyer. So you can just create a filter on Quantify Ninja, and then use this filter to create a custom audience. I will not focus. I will focus on the Facebook bot, but just so you know, you can take the buyers that bought from you from Amazon and retarget them on Facebook, and then you can just select here the custom audience that you've created. So we will continue here, and then when you get to the ad, you select the image and everything, and then after selecting the image, you scroll down to the messages setup, and then under the messages setup, you see we have this is the default view would be like this, and then you go to custom, and then create message. So as you can see, you can create your own message, but that's it. It's just the first few words and buttons, and that's it. You cannot continue a full flow. But if you go to the JSON part,
then the flow will will appear.
Yes. So here is the tricky part, because when you click here in the middle, for example, and I click Control A and delete, it doesn't really delete everything. So you can see if I scroll a little bit up, so you can see there's more details at the top. So just make sure that you delete everything, includes everything, and then use the paste option. This is the code that I copied from Quantify Ninja, and that's it. Now you can test it by clicking here, and then Messenger preview.
You have to save it, no?
No. You don't have to save it. So you can test it before you actually save it. So I just click the preview, and then if I don't know if you can hear it, but here it is. So we got the conversation. This is actually Facebook triggered, the hey and the buttons. And now if I click on a specific button, then this already now goes to Quantify Ninja server, and then continue the flow. I might have clicked on a button that doesn't have anything under it. So let's maybe test it again just to see that it works. And we'll click on the first button, which I'm sure that I have flow under this button. So I click on the first button, and then nothing happens. That's because we are using it on the wrong page. Yes, I need to make sure that I'm on the right page, because this conversation was saved is saved on the lower page where I created the ad on a different page. So I just need to make sure. Not sure if this is the one. Just a second.
How many pages of Quantify Ninja do you have?
Too many. Oh, but I can see the end of the. Okay, this is the demo. So yeah, this is the one. Okay, so let's save it under Quantify Ninja, and then let's run this test again. Now let's see. All right.
Okay, yes.
All right. Okay, so that's about it. Any questions?
No, just I'm not sure when I use the JSON and when I use the regular buttons on Facebook. I'm not sure I understand when do I need it.
Well, if you use Quantify Ninja, you don't need to use Facebook buttons. If you don't use Quantify Ninja and you wanna and you want to just trigger a simple text and buttons, but you can't continue the flows after the first button. So if the user clicks something, that's it. The conversation is ended, and you have to manually respond.
So whenever I have a conversation which is more than just click here, then I need to use the JSON, the code.
Yes. Basically, if you use our service, you want to use it every time you want to trigger a conversation, because it's just easier. And even if you have only text and button, like a one text and one button, but you want the user to be tagged, right? Because you want to know who were using this conversation, who was in this conversation. So if you click here and you tag a specific conversation with a tag, then anyone that run this conversation is saved by this tag. And then if you want to retarget him, you can do it from the subscribers. So we have a subscriber list, and you can see that on the right side you see the tag. So you can do filtering and filter only people with the specific tag, and then you can broadcast them. Or if you're a more advanced user, you can add them to a specific sequence, or so you can trigger different conversations in a different time frames. But this is for advanced users. We need to have a different video for that.
Oh, okay. So looking forward to this video. It's really interesting.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.